Hey guys, it's Deplorable Deb again. I got one more video from this morning. Okay, so this one, oh, let me get it. Okay, this is with Leela Field, I think it is. Yeah, that I didn't get. So let me let you hear this.
Thank you for joining us this hour here on One American News. I'm Leah Fifield. President Trump and the First Lady are set to take part in one of the White House's iconic traditions.
So you got to stay positive.
Will part in the annual Thanksgiving turkey at a White House ceremony today, carrying out the annual holiday tradition, of course. The two turkeys, named Corn and Cobb,
I thought it was Pop.
Appearance in the Rose Garden with only one set to be parted. The ceremony will start at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. President Trump says his team isn't backing down despite the GSA beginning preliminary.
You hear that? He's not backing down, not conceding.
Night, the commander-in-chief said his legal team is continuing to pursue various cases around the nation to combat election fraud. He stated his campaign is moving full speed ahead, claiming this year's vote will go down as, quote, the most corrupt election in American political history.
That's right.
The president then reassured his supporters, saying that he will never concede to tactics from the left. Well, the Trump campaign is moving at full speed to battle
ahead.
Presidential elections of 2020 and fraud as new evidence of malfeasance continues to emerge around the nation. Here's the latest.
Yep.
New evidence of voter fraud is being revealed in the state of Michigan as the Trump campaign continues to pursue legal cases to ensure a fair and free election. In a sworn affidavit from Wayne County, one Michigan election worker says they were told to falsify thousands of absentee ballots for Democrat nominee Joe Biden, stealing the vote from Republicans. According to journalist John Solomon, the election worker's affidavit proves evidence of voter fraud in a presidential election.
She is confident that thousands of ballots were backdated. But that's not the only misconduct she says she saw. Going all the way back to September when she was first assigned to the election project, she says she saw election ballots going out and having their dates changed. So you would send someone that allegedly request the ballot, you would send it out. For some reason, they were changing the record to make it look like the ballot had been sent out much earlier than the day they were actually mailing it out. In other words, they were committing fraud.
The affidavit further states election workers in the city of Detroit coached voters and urged others to vote for Biden and the Democrat Party. The election worker also said she was instructed to not validate ballots and was told to ignore any deficiencies in Democrat ballots. Solomon expects legal testimony will help support the Trump campaign's fight against fraud in the presidential election.
She has signed this affidavit. It's been submitted in a court case. And when you hear a single city worker say thousands of ballots that she witnessed, she was partaking in, she knows were fraudulent.
Meantime, the Trump campaign is dismissing state certifications of the election results. In a statement shared with the president's supporters, his campaign said certification by state officials is simply a procedural step.
Just a
President
procedural.
Trump then tweeted on Monday night his campaign is moving full speed ahead, warning this year's vote will go down as, quote, the most corrupt election in American political history.
And the Trump campaign is also dismissing state certifications of the election results as it pursues a series of legal battles. In a statement on Monday, Trump 2020 senior legal advisor Jenna Ellis said certification by state officials is simply a procedural step. Ellis asserts they're going to, quote, continue combating election fraud around the country as they, quote, fight to count all the legal votes. She says Americans must be assured the final results are fair and legitimate. As a result of the 2020 election again do remain in dispute, One America's John Hines spoke with a hacker who is familiar with voting software to get his take on the possibility of voter fraud in multiple states. Take a look.
Mihal, I know that you have a lot of experience in hacking computers. You have some experience with some of this election software. Of course, Sidney Powell, the president's lawyer, has been on the news recently. She said recently, we're fixing to overturn the results of the election in multiple states. President Trump won by not just hundreds of thousands of votes, but by millions of votes that were shifted by this software that was designed expressly for that purpose, talking about one of these electronic vote tabulation systems. Is her statement reasonably accurate?
As to the
assertion that there is mass-scale voting fraud. I can speak to that generally, and I can explain how that would work with a piece of software. In terms of the evidence for that, what I've seen so far that looks consistent with how I know these systems work is that we have witness statements of various irregularities in ballot counting. We also have known vulnerabilities that are publicly and secretly known. And what we're missing is the forensics to actually be able to prove that. So, although me and Sydney are both arriving at a conclusion of concern around the election, I think we're doing it in slightly different ways.
So it is possible to massage the votes and get a result that you would want based on using some of these voting machines and software. Is that correct?
So it's possible to alter the outcome of the election by manipulating the process that the ballots are going through in the verification. It's also possible to enhance those attacks, make them more plausible by tweaking things inside the software. But what I will point out is that you don't necessarily need a hacker to tweak those things. You can just be an admin. Like I said, you just turn off verification.
There was, I think, some sort of an advisory panel from the Department of Homeland Security. A couple of individuals who said that there's nothing to worry about, that we had the safest, cleanest election that we've ever had. Do you agree with that, sir?
No, I don't agree with that, because how would they know?
He's laughing
The voting
too.
machines don't report back to headquarters.
They didn't check any shit.
There's no self-diagnostic. They don't have software that sits there and sniffs out the hacker of bad behavior.
Based on what you've seen, you feel that there is some evidence, some likelihood that there's been some vote total manipulation, either with the machines or the software or something. Is that correct?
Essentially, yes. Based on what I'm seeing, these things have to be investigated, and the people that are pointing to them are definitely not crazy. They are definitely pointing to something that is backed up by logical fact. Here's some facts. We know that ballot rejection rate dropped. We know that verification systems just got created. We know that verification systems are operated by humans. We know what the skew is in the ballots they're processing. So it's easy to see how somebody that's in the middle of that verification scheme might be, hey, I'm just going to let these ballots through, or if they're for a side that they know they're against, I'm going to increase their rejection rate, right? So it's that central thing opens up, those central facts open this up to a whole lot of manipulation, and the only way to confirm that is with the evidence, which so far we essentially seem to have 2 out of 3. We know about vulnerabilities, we know about eyewitness reports. What we don't know is what actually really happened, because to know that you have the security audit the machines.
Michał Pospieszalski, a hacker, something of an expert, I gather, in these voting machines. Thank you for talking to us on One America News.
Thank you, John. I'm really glad to be here.
Still ahead here on One America News, a top Apple employee is implicated.
Okay. Now, I gotta say something. I don't know why we just don't leave things alone, okay? Why, as the years went on, because if we relied on paper ballots and people, we wouldn't worry about all of this. See what's happening? This reminds me of, every time I think of how out of whack our immigration is. See? You close Ellis Island, you stop doing the things you've done, all because of PC culture. See what happens? You start getting lax. You give a certain party, the left, the ability to do whatever they want. That, to me, started from Obama. See, right now what gets me, everything we're hearing, these people don't even worry that they're going to get in trouble. You know why? Because it was all, fixed. Obama put in all these activist judges that let everybody just get away. Look what Kemp did. Look what Stacey Abrams did. I believe they're in a lot of trouble. She had no business. Look what she's doing now. They're claiming they already got over 750,000 absentee ballots, or whatever ballots they're getting ready for the for the December 5th runoff. Can you believe that? I mean, these things shouldn't be allowed. But what did they do in Georgia? They went to a Supreme Court judge. They wouldn't change it. Not looking at signatures or whatever. And then what do? When they go judge shopping, well, they go activist shopping. And then look what they did. They were able to find these judges that just decided to change the laws. This is why President Trump is going to win, okay? Because of the Constitution. Remember what I said earlier. The president, his lawsuit is for constitutional. It's for the Constitution. Sidney Powell and all these other people, they're going after criminal fraud. That is why they separated. That's why Sidney Powell made it known. It's not President Trump fired her. They were never together. She's her own person. That's her own office. Matter of fact, she's doing this pro bono. You know why? Because she knows the truth. And also, General Flynn knows the truth. And you know what? This is our one chance to get it straight. Because I'll tell you what. You can't have 79% of the people just being told this is the way it is when we all know that this election was stolen. It's not going to be like that. There's going to be people out there, and then this is what they want. This is what the Democrats want. They want to get us to be so disgusted that people will not go to vote. That's the one thing that I worry about. Because people are seeing that. And I'll be honest with you, the affidavits and many people should be calling. And if you were disenfranchised from voting because of something, you need to go and report that. You need to send those letters now. Okay? You can go on whitehouse.gov and send an email to let them know that you found out your vote wasn't counted. Because I'm telling you guys, with all this fraudulent that they did, they actually eliminated voters. See? Let me tell you something. President Trump won by a landslide. When I tell you a landslide, they couldn't keep up with it. They couldn't keep up with the freaking ballots they were throwing in. So what else they did? They eliminated votes. Not just did they switch votes from President Trump to Biden, but they dropped votes. They had a way to put it in like a drop file, and they dropped them. I'm telling you, this is disgusting. This really is. And that's why this has to get blown up. It's going to get big. And you know what? Yeah, President Trump ain't going nowhere. He's going to stay in that White House because technically, every time they want to say, oh, we can't have this, why not? You know why they say that? Because it was never challenged. See, they're into that PC shit. Oh, we got to follow. But they forget about something. There's a reason for electorals, okay? The electors, okay? I believe. And I think if you go and check with Tom Fitton, there are people allowed to go when they're going to decide. And if you have something that you want to say, I'm pretty sure you can do it. And they have to acknowledge. I'll tell you right now. So I think it's going to get hairy even with the electors. Because I'll tell you what. They can't tell 79% of the American people that you just got to suck it up and let it go. That ain't going to happen because I'll tell you right now, they will end up seeing, people retaliating, and it's going to be their fault. And you know what? The other Democrats, if you want to save your party, you better go and speak out because you know it. Elizabeth Warren, Amy Gorbachev, whatever, and the other one. You know exactly what happened because you three reported it. You reported it. And shame on any one of you guys. Shame on you, Bernie Sanders, because it happened to you. And you know what's sad? What's sad is all these people that are living in these communities that we watched. Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, Adam Schiff, all of them getting rich. And then meanwhile, people are saying, but why aren't they voted out? We know why they're not voted out. We know why they don't go and campaign. We saw it with Joe Biden. We actually saw it with Hillary Clinton. But I think what happened with the 2016 election, they didn't put in a big enough algorithm. And remember, they didn't have mail-in ballots then. That's why they were stunned that they didn't win. And that's why Obama made Hillary concede very fast. Because they didn't want people going digging. Because you know what? You would have found that algorithm then. This is how big this is going to get. Telling you right now. So, I got to go post this one now. This is the last one I have. So, and then I got to eat. Love you guys. Bye-bye.